Guys, Wagwan, everybody, and Wagwan. For those who don't know what Wagwan means, it means what's up, what's going on, how are you doing, howdy. All right, so let's dive into this, guys. My last video that I did, or the last video that I just did a while ago, that's being uploaded right now as I talk. I just finished reading this article, and this article is I have a lot of good information that I wanted to just create something of its own. And guys, thank you so much for checking out the channel. I really appreciate it. Please go ahead and like and subscribe and share it to other people, man. Let them know this thing is not a bogus. This thing is not a scam. This thing is a real thing. This thing is a real thing that's coming out. And we don't know who initiate this push for this digital currency, but it was being pushed for a long time now, for probably over 20 years. And now they're just starting to write it in languages and codes. Okay, so coming from Asia Times, and this article is written by Ross P. Buckley and Mia Trzezinski. Hopefully I'm not messing up that name. Article is written January 16, 2023. So CBDCs set to disrupt dollar dominance. Central bank digital currency like the ECNY could transform global finance with faster, cheaper ways to settle trade and transaction. For almost 80 years, the US dollar has dominated the global financial system. Its preeminence survived the collapse of the Bretton Woods system in the early 1970s and has even risen since the COVID-19 pandemic. The United States has long enjoyed the many benefits that flow from this privileged position: continuous capital inflows, lower foreign borrowing costs, and the power to sanction other nations. But with the development of new monetary technologies and the sanctions imposed on Russia's central bank in 2022, this could be set to change. Central bank digital currency have the potential to disrupt dollar dominance and transform the mechanics of the global financial system by providing faster and cheaper ways to settle international trade and financial transactions. CBDCs are a form of digital currencies issued by a central bank either for the use of a general public, which Stellar is aiming to do, and or the business sector, which Ripple and XRP is aiming to do as well. So wholesale CBDC will be used in substantial transaction and are designed to improve the efficiency of interbank trade and financial settlements. Retail CBDCs will make central bank-backed digital money available to the general public. Customers will likely still be dealing with commercial banks, but with the terms and conditions set by the central bank rather than this commercial bank. While the customer experience may be largely unchanged, the infrastructure support will be. And there's a lot of confusion going on in this space right now, guys, because the fact that the central bank is going to be rolling out the policies and not the commercial banks, right? Commercial banks is not liking that. A lot of CEOs are going to lose a lot of money, and they're still going to be rich, but they're going to be, they're going to lose a lot of their bonuses, and they don't like that shit. This new system, they like it. It's like a love and hate situation, sweet and sour. So in 2021, the BIS, so Bank for International Settlements, conducted a survey and found that 90% of central banks that responded are exploring CBDCs, with 54% considering issuing one in the next 6 years. China is leading the world in these efforts, with its CBDC, the digital renminbi, ECNY, expected to be the first issued by the major economy. The ECNY has already been trialed over 20 cities and use over 100 billion RMB, worth US $14 billion US Worthless transactions giving China a massive first mover advantage. Wholesale CBDCs, which have attracted far less attention than their retail counterparts, pose a real challenge to the US dollar dominance and have the potential to deliver massive gains in cross-border payments. The development of CBDCs has occurred alongside growing efforts by states to build alternatives to the digital dollar, largely pioneered by the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. The coalition was formed in 2009 to 2010 to increase their role in global governance. And I referred to this before in the past video, that Russia and China was already talking about issuing a new currency to rival the dollar, right? Because of what we read, the dollar was being used not just for what it was not just for its intended purposes, right? But it was also being used for sanctions, and holding other countries accountable. Now, what is it my fault if the government of the country that I'm living in is doing foolishness, and then here comes this bigger economy coming and sanctioning the imports, sanctioning the exports, and all these things? You're hurting me, the people, off of what this government that I may or may not agree with. Right, so that's very unfair. That's very centralized, and that's very dictatorship. So you're dictating what other countries should do, and hence why the need for this technology, this decentralized technology that gives every country's equal opportunity when it comes to fintech and technology base, right? A fair level scale, a fair level platform, right? Let's see which economy is the greatest economy. Stop outsourcing our jobs, keep them here. Stop outsourcing our jobs, keep them here for free money. Outsourcing our job for free money, right? And then blaming the other countries for taking our resources. Keep our resources here, please. And let's work with this new system, because this new system is not going to cancel out the dollar. It's going to enhance the dollar. It's going to enhance the dollar. So anyway, let's dive into this before I'm going off on a rant here. So the development of CBDC has occurred alongside growing efforts by states to build alternatives to the dollar. Just as I was just talking about, largely pioneered by BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa coalition. The coalition was formed in 2009, 2010, to increase their role in global governance. CBDCs are the most promising development for states looking to develop alternatives to the dollar, a quest that has been accelerated by the unprecedented sanctions imposed on Russia in 2022. In recognition of this risk, the United States has now expedited the development of a digital dollar. It's called FedNow, guys. If you guys don't know, America is in phase of launching their pilot digital dollar this year. It's called FedNow. A lot of people, this information is going to go over a lot of people's head. A lot of people are not going to even see this shit coming in. It's coming right in. It's right in your face right now. Before it was in your ear. 10 years ago, it was in your ear. 5 years ago, it's starting to pass by you. It's running by you. It's running by, and you're like, what is that? That's weird. Is that another Canadian dollar? Is that another Canadian dollar? Canadian Tire dollar? Is that a Walmart dollar? Is that a is that a Target dollar? Is that a right? So and now it's right in your face, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I should trust this. And some people are like, oh yeah, this is the future, So it's right in your face now, ready to be regulated, ready to be used. Ready to solve the problem that it aims to, or it was implemented to solve. CBDCs are the most promising development for states looking to develop alternatives to the dollar, a quest that has been accelerated by the unprecedented sanctions imposed on Russia in 2022. In recognition of this risk, the United States has now expedited the development of a digital dollar. But it is still far behind China in this development. But that's not a problem for America. And I think that's where the arrogance come from. That's why they're dragging their foot, because they know the technology, the innovation of the technology in many ways need them. And it doesn't just need the United States, it need the entire world. But of course, America play a major role when it comes to innovations and technology and all these other stuff, right? So anyway, smaller economies are motivated to implement CBDCs to promote financial inclusion. Of course, the Bahamas and Cambodia and Jamaica have introduced their own CBDCs. These measures are aimed at improving financial inclusions for the unbanked and promoting financial stability. Of course, they don't want to be behind when all of this is implemented. When all of this is implemented, it's probably going to be a cost to them to get that implemented. Now, you know how greedy these people are. They address gaps in existing payment infrastructure. This is distinguishable from wholesale CBDC in major economies that aim to improve trust in wholesale financial and international trade markets, improve efficiency, and implement fiscal and monetary policy. While CBDCs are potentially financially and technically transformative, they could also be geopolitically disruptive. A digital dollar could maintain or strengthen U.S. dollar dominance. It's going to, right? For a little while. And a little while mean decades, guys. Even with alternatives development by rival states, because of digital dollar will be cheaper and easier to use than dollars today. In a world like today where the world is becoming inclusive, you saw this move. I think Reagan was the one who announced it. Was it in the 80s when he said we're coming upon a new world order or something like that? This is what they wanted. This is what they wanted. In order to control the entire world, you have to get the entire world using a system that they need, which is monetary system, right? And once you get the majority of the world using money, they need money to buy goods, to live, to breathe, and not to breathe, but well, hey, in some countries you're being taxed for the air now. Okay, just so you know, for cleaning the air, that's in the tax. So you need money for all of that, right? And then what now? The next move is to what? The next move is to digitize that dollar, so that they can track you. Now they can use all sorts of algorithm to figure out what you're thinking or what you're doing or what your future plans are and this and that, right? So, hey, there you go. It's right in our face right now. What are you going to do? What are you going to do about this system? It's right in your face right now. The life that they got us used to, right? They're making it better. What are you doing? Are you going to say, oh, I'm used to this, I'm not going to adapt? And most people are going to say and do that. But are you gonna just watch this technology come and walk right by you without even you guys? Come on now, don't make the same mistake I made back in 2010 when I learned about Bitcoin. Bitcoin was $10 at the time. Don't make that same mistake of seeing a technology that aimed to solve a problem, and because you don't believe in the technology, you say, oh, whatever. As investors, and this is not investing advised, but most investors, according to Warren Buffett, you put your eggs in more than one basket. Okay? So anyway, let's continue to read this article. This is what we do here, and this is not financial advice, even though I'm talking about investments, not right. But the United States could also lose its dominant position in the global financial system as rival states develop CBDC-based alternatives, fragmenting the global economy into two or more competing blocks. There could also be a transition toward a multipolar system characterized by cooperation rather than competition. Though this is the least likely outcome, the current geopolitical climate. Each of these possibilities will pose opportunities and risk for Australia and the global financial system. But the second outcome, a global economy fragmented into two or more competing blocs, likely led by the United States and China, would be very, very difficult for Australia, given Australia's historic security ties to the United States and its economic ties to China. Australia will likely attempt to engage with the CBDC networks of both blocks. So balancing these relationships has become more difficult, but this could be further complicated if China-led bloc imposes political security requirements for membership. Given the importance of exports to the Chinese economy, China may be slow to mandate use of ECNY, but the United States has shown a willingness to use financial sanctions to address global conflicts, and China is playing a long and strategic game. Australian policymakers must begin preparing for these challenges. The Reserve Bank of Australia is already working to identify the uses for digital Australian dollar. While the issuance of CBDCs is likely to significantly impact the global financial system, and Australia will have very limited influence over the outcome of this disruption, our policymakers need to think of approaches and strategies that will mitigate the risk and realize the potential benefits. So we want to thank the author for this article. Thank you guys for taking the time to write, to do your research, and inform us as what we're doing right now. We're doing our research by looking up articles and informing not just ourselves, but people amongst us, right? So I'm doing my due diligence. What is your due diligence? You know what I'm saying? So guys, thank you so much for giving me your time. I really appreciate it. Time is money. Time is of the essence. So thank you so much for giving me your time. And I hope you liked the video. Please like, please share, please let's have this discussion. You know, it's right in front of us. You can see it. Open your eyes. Go to the grocery stores. You know what I'm saying? Go around, look at your phone. The fact that we're walking around with a computer in our hands and we don't even know. Some people are not aware of this. Some people are. You know, you see this thing coming in, it's right in front of your eyes. What are you going to do? Are you going to wait until they implement it for you to go out there and learn more about it? All right. That's where it starts. It starts with learning. And a lot of these blockchains and cryptocurrencies, that's how they started out. They were paying us. They were paying people. They were paying audiences to learn, to sit around your computer or your phone and to read or to listen to them tell you what this technology is about and what it does. They will give you money, actual money. So information is key, guys. Reading is fundamental. You know what I mean? I say build up your vocabulary. It makes you stronger in your arguments, and you know, it makes you think. You ever have thoughts? My dog is ready to go outside. All right, bro. Give me a minute. I'm almost done. All right. So guys, I gotta go. My dog is calling me. All right, man. Take care, guys. See ya.